Welcome to the Wigan Cult Film Club podcast.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's the Wigan Cult Film Club here with you once again. This is me, Tony, and we've also got Judge Kennedy on the other side there.
No! Don't do drugs, kids.
No, that's well good, that.
Yeah, I've broken into someone's house in London, and they've got a load of cool stuff. So I thought,
yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
That that Dalek's fucking brilliant.
If you like Daleks, I suppose. Or it's a garlic, as me 7-year-old calls it.
me and Ginny was giggling about that last night when he sent it over. He sent us a picture of him stood at the side of it with the thing that said garlic, not Dalek. Great.
I love how it utterly destroys a total fandom with one letter change. I told him what it was, and he went, "It's a garlic." I went, no, but it is from now on.
Yeah, definitely. I see he's got a few other cool things behind him there. He's got that.
Never ends in Mike's house. He's got.
Is it French? Is it French, that poster, or is it the Belgian?
Pierre Cristal. It's a 29-foot poster. It's hard to show you the scale of that. Hold on. There's me next to it. Pointing.
It's a beast.
He's got a lovely signed one from JC over there. Jesus Christ himself, John Carpenter.
Yeah.
And he's got a few other nice things, but I'm not showing you them because it's surrounded by pictures of his kids. So, but yeah, I'm staying at my friend Mike's house at the minute in London. He's away at the minute, and we cat sit for him while he's away, and
cool.
and he very kindly gives us his house to use. So thanks, Mike. If you ever watch this nonsense, I don't know, but there you go. But me and Tony thought we'd have a catch up.
Yep.
And bang on about some stuff.
Yeah, because I think obviously we had our club night last Thursday, which we'll have a talk about in a bit. But the one thing that seemed to come off it by chatting to the members was at least 50% of the hardcore group that come to every night that we put on have now bought Omniplex Omnipasses. So for those of you watching, listening that don't know, Omniplex are a cinema chain that were predominantly based in Ireland, but it looks like they've bought maybe 6 to 8 cinemas here in the UK.
I think it's about that. They're getting more as it goes, yeah.
But they seem to have picked out the remnants of the Empire cinemas. So they've chosen the sort of Empire cinemas that were now vacant, but the ones that looked like that was in predominantly good areas that could do something. Or the cinemas, when you look, that were like middle of the road. They weren't the massive, great big ones, but they weren't the little tiny Empires. They were like middle of the road ones. So
yeah, easy to do up, basically, yeah.
Yeah. It didn't take them much time to do. And here in Wigan, we had one of those Empires that was like 11 screens, and it wasn't massive, but it wasn't small. And they bought it on the Omniplex. And bought it. Spent 3.6 million, I think, on a renovation.
Yeah.
And you can solidly see where the money's gone. It's a quality build that they've done with this place on the facelift of it. So again, speaking to members of the club, people have picked Omnipasses up. So I thought we'll get on here and we'll chat about what we think of Omniplex.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah. Well, I've used it bloody endlessly since it started because we first went over to watch Jaws, didn't we? Because they've got got a subsection of films that they put on where they put classic films on. And to be honest, if they just did that, I'd be happy.
Definitely.
Every sort of the chucking Jaws, E.T., Goodfellas is coming up. Never Ending Story this weekend.
Yeah, that's this weekend. That
they're chucking these ones on, and just for the sake of going seeing some stuff on the big screen, we just got a taste for it before the Empire Cinema closed. Because
we did.
there was a slew of 40th anniversary releases like The Thing and Alien and stuff like that.
Alien.
And we just really enjoyed going seeing them on a big screen, whether it's a straight DVD transfer or what. It doesn't matter when you whack that sound up and it's not on that big visual, we really enjoyed it. So the fact that they're doing that in this cinema is a big plus for me. It's not a massive selection of like newer films. I think they're probably curating that a bit to make the most money wise. I mean, pretty much every screen's got Deadpool on at the minute. But the other aspect my family use it for is the Sunday Kids Club thing. And most cinemas have that where you pay £2 or £3 and you can go in and they'll show something that's been on everyone's DVD shelf for 5 years or whatever, some Minion film or something. But before we took our lad this time, we had a look at the Omnipass, and the Omnipass, I should say, is $11.99 a month. If you sign up for it now, first of all, you get you're tied into 3 months, so you don't pay it all at once, but they want you for 3 months of subscription at least. After that, you can drop it or leave it or whatever. So I looked at buying tickets for me, my wife, and my son to go watch whatever Minions thing was on, and I think it came to £37. So we figured, right, for 36, we'll get an Omnipass for all three of us. My lad hasn't been out of that place. He had his money's worth within 2 or 3 days. He's seen Garfield 3 times. He's seen Despicable Me 400 times. All this stuff. My wife's been in a few times, just watching stuff herself. Because if one of us takes in the cinema, the other one will go in and watch some. And on the plus side of all this, what it does is it changes your view of what you see the cinema as. Because if somebody puts the trailer up for Twisters, I'm like, I'll watch it when it comes to streaming. Can't be bothered. But because I've chucked $11.99 at this place, you feel like you can use the cinema more. You get that sense of well, why not see it on a massive screen with ridiculous sound and whatever else? So me and Danny from the club went to watch Twisters the other day, and then I watched Deadpool, and then I watched this and that. So it's generally a good idea, but there has been a development, as you just mentioned. So go on.
So the Omnipass that was initially sort of advertised to everybody was $11.99 a month. So for $11.99 a month, that allowed you to watch anything that was being shown on the cinema that particular month. So the ruling was at one point was if you went to watch a new release, you could only watch it once within that month period, if I remember rightly.
No.
But
I think that's how Danny had interpreted it, because he was asking me about that at the club. It's not about going watching one film once, because like I say, we went into films multiple times with our lad using the passes. What it is you can't go in and book loads of seats together. You can only go in and book one single seat. So if I went in with my son, I'd have to book my ticket, get it out, then use his pass and book his ticket and get the ticket out and make sure that we've got seats next to each other. So I don't think I haven't seen any evidence of the fact that you could only see that film.
You can only use it once.
Right. It's basically you can go in all day if you want. If you want to watch Deadpool 6 times in a row, then you can.
Right.
It was all about the ordering of your actual.
The ordering of tickets.
You can only book one seat at a time for that film.
Right.
You've got to put the other person's card in and book the other one.
Right. I'm with you. with you.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah. So the $11.99 pass, it got you entry to whatever film you wanted to watch. Now we've just took notice in the last week, I think probably the last week, that Omniplex have now done a $14.99 pass. Now this seems to be doing, the main screen that they've got is called a Max screen, MAXX. So basically that's the version of IMAX or whatever else, the large impressive screens. Now it looks like if you want to watch a day one release that's on the Max screen, you need this $14.99 a month pass. No, not the $11.99 pass, which was never initially the thing when it first came out. They never told you with the $11.99 pass that you couldn't use the Max screen.
It's essentially the same as Amazon saying, "Oh, by the way, that price you're paying, we've decided you're getting ads in that
ads.
But if you want to add an extra £3 or £4 on every month, we'll take the ads out." So it's essentially shifting the goalposts on what you're getting for your money. I mean, after having a month's experience of it in the summer holidays with a kid, I still think even £14.99 is a bargain, but it's a little bit dodgy considering it's just opened, and people are like, well, how much is it? Oh, it's gone up,
So everybody that we know bought these £11.99 passes. So virtually the entire club's got the £11.99 pass now. For us, the big one is going to be Alien Romulus. Now, if Alien Romulus gets put on that big screen day one, then everyone with those £11.99 passes aren't going to be able to get in to see Alien Romulus. They're going to have to wait till it gets bumped down to a smaller screen, which is a bit naughty, really.
To be fair, I mean, we had a bit of a talk because we've got a mate who's working there at the minute, and he gave us a little look inside some of the screens. He did. And to be fair, all the screens are good. They're all of a decent size. What they did was they decided in some cases to take the top and the bottom of the screen to the floor and the ceiling, and they've extended it out just so that you've got a bigger screen based on what was already there existing in the building. And I think they've taken that to the maximum level in that max screen, where it's just gigantic. The screen really, it's closest to IMAX size. It's not official IMAX, obviously, but it's closest to IMAX size you're going to see in a cinema, really.
It was also it was curved as well, that screen, wasn't it? The max screen that they've got.
And I think, I don't know whether they all have like, what is it, Dolby, whatever it is.
It'll be Dolby Atmos, I think.
Atmos,
in there.
That was it. Yeah. I mean, whatever screen you go in, it's going to look all right. I feel like I'm landing on the side of it's still a bargain, really. It's just a bit galling that, like you say, loads of people have bought this pass thinking, oh, I'll be ready to go and watch Alien Romulus on that dirty great big screen, and might not be able to now. So I don't know whether there's something you can do to add a few quid to it, or
you must be allowed. Yeah, you must be allowed to upgrade, because if you're tied in for your first 3 months to your £11.99 one, and you wanted to upgrade it to the £14.99 one, there must be a way of doing it. Otherwise, people are going to be stuck for 3 months, not being able to watch anything on a Premier screen.
To be honest, it might be. I know it only charges every month, so maybe they'll email you and say which one do you want when it comes to taking the subscription on again. And to be honest, if I stuck with just the other screens, I think I'd be fine with it. I'm guessing we might feel a bit different after summer. When you've got quieter periods of what films are going on, and they've put some, like, I don't know, some courtroom drama on or something like that, and you think, oh, maybe not, maybe it's not Twisters. When all the blockbusters have moved on, you might feel less inclined to have that monthly pass, maybe just drop in every so often for something big. But one question they couldn't answer with me was, I asked them via the site, and I did ask them in the cinema, and nobody knows, is once you've passed those 3 months and you've been tied in for 3 months, and then you can continue on however long you want. If you drop it for a month and then come back, do you have to take the 3 months again? Or can you just get a month? And nobody seems to know. So I was kind of waiting to hear on that. I know for sure that we'll use it over summer. So us having 3 months, and my young lad wanting to go to the cinema all the time and watch Pig in Garfield sing, right? But he wants to do that, so we know we'll get the money out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just when it comes to when we hit like September and the films get a bit more rubbish or whatever, then maybe it's just worth getting it for him and going to the film club on a Sunday or something.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I can see October being pretty good. I would imagine they're going to start putting like older horror films on, or family friendly Halloween kind of titles. I can see them doing all that kind of thing. And again, then rolling into Christmas, I can see them doing the Christmas stuff again, which for us, that's good. You know what I mean? As a club, we can turn out and watch different stuff at those times. But like you said, it's the times in between when there is no blockbuster and there is nothing else going on. That's the only thing. Now, those tickets aside, I mean, they're good value for money. $11.99, $14.99. The amount of usage I think that we'll get out of it is probably warranting the price of the ticket. But like the little discussion that we had earlier on, other cinema chains in the UK also do passes. I.e.
as well, really.
For that, for £15, because my daughter and her partner had them for Cineworld. And they had them for Cineworld at Lee, and it was £15 over there. Now, Cineworld looks like it's on the brink of collapsing in on itself. They've closed 25 of the 100 cinemas. I would imagine out of the 25, it was the 25 quieter cinemas. When you looked at the list of the first 6 or 7, they were like small town cinemas. So I can sort of understand why that is. But if a cinema chain, which I think is the largest chain in the country at the moment, and I think the company that owns Reel are the largest cinema chain in the world currently, if they're struggling, then what hope do we have for a cinema chain like, for the whole industry, but a cinema chain like Omniplex, who are slightly different to other cinema chains? In fact, they're totally different than other cinema chains. Because what we took notice of the first time we went there is that internally, it doesn't look like a cinema. Aesthetically, it doesn't look like a cinema when you go in. It feels more like you're going into
an outdoor market where you're getting some scrum.
Like an artisan markety kind of place, but it's got like a bit of a 50s sort of like diner cinema feel about it. That's the only way I can sort of describe it.
Well, to be honest,
which again, it's really good.
If you look at a couple of things, one is like, have you seen the offer that Amazon have with Odeon? Because I used it once, and I'm amazed not many people talk about it. It's like what do you call it? It's like a Orange Wednesdays.
All right, okay.
If you're subscribed to Amazon, you get a deal with Odeon Cinemas. Now, I can't bloody remember what it is. I think it's either half price or you get 1 ticket free or something like that.
Right.
Or there's one particular day. If you go on that day, it's half price. It's something like that. But it's a regular deal because you've got Amazon, and I don't see Odeon like advertising that very well at all. I mean, maybe they don't want it advertising, but I don't see why Amazon aren't advertising it more. It's like part of the deal if you're subscribed and you get like Amazon Video. You get access to this thing at Odeon.
Yeah, I know there's a couple of companies done it. Sky did it. I think, was that with View, or was that at Odeon as well, where they give you, if you subscribe to Sky, they give you 2 free cinema tickets every month. We bank with Lloyd's. Lloyd's gave us, we have on our current account, they give us 6 free tickets a year. And with our savings account, they give us 6 free tickets a year. So me and Janine can get 12 free tickets a year for Empire through Lloyd's.
Right, okay.
Now, the times that me and Janine have used those, there's still no one been in the place. So even if you're a Lloyd's banking, you know what I mean? People still aren't taking this up. People still aren't using it. So it's a funny one for a company like Omniplex to dip the toe in and to do what they're doing, because it's completely different to what other cinema chains are doing.
I've got a theory, you see.
Yeah, it feels like, the way I can describe it, if you turned up to this place early, you could eat out. You could get decent quality food in there. You can get decent quality beers in there as well, which is quite good. There was also a guy doing like top end cocktails. So in theory, you could go there, you could eat, you could drink, you could go and watch a film. In theory, you could come back out again and have another drink, go back in to watch another film, and come out and drink again and have something else sweet. So in theory, you could spend all day there, which you couldn't normally do at other cinemas, because you didn't have that thing about it.
Their ad, one of their main ads for how they work, is a lad just repeatedly going into screens, watching things. Their ad for their Omnipass is him turning up. You see him filling up his Coke glass. You see him paying for something to eat, and then he goes in there and sits down. Then it cuts again. He's filling his glass again. He cuts down. And if you notice, he's a ginger because he never goes out in the daylight. I felt like shouting at the ad saying, put someone else on who looks like they've touched grass, for God's sake. But I've got a theory about how Omniplex are seeing the cinemas, right? For example, you look at like somewhere like Home in Manchester, right? It's in a place that's got galleries in it. It's like it's a nice cultured day out in Home, right? So the films they'll put on there tend to be your art house cinema, right?
Yeah.
And it's got its audience. There's people in Manchester who enjoy an art house cinema. They've always had the Corner House and places like that for good films.
Yeah.
And if you look at what Omniplex are putting on, there's not a sniff of that. It's not like a selection from across the board of what cinema's putting out. It's popcorn, right? And it's not just popcorn. It's old popcorn. They're putting Back to the Future on. They're putting the Goonies on. They're putting Jaws on. And my theory is, I think Omniplex want to make it feel like your DVD shelf.
Yeah.
And they're appealing to people who I mean, I'm one of those people, so I can't complain. They're appealing to people who like cinema and know what they like.
Yeah.
Because there's none of this, like they've not put the obscure Japanese drama about a fella who kills himself on. They haven't done that. They're putting Deadpool on Deadpool. They're putting Deadpool on 7 screens because they know that people are going to go to the pictures to watch that, because the combination of your DVD choices and a big screen. Like I saw one guy complaining on their page saying, "I've got all them at home on DVD." I said, "Yeah, but is your screen flipping 20 stories high?" And, no, I don't think so. Right? That's the point. That's the point of the pictures. You go in, you take it all in, the big blooming screen and the massive sound and the fact that there's loads of people laughing at the same stuff.
Yeah.
Or not laughing at the same stuff, as in the case of Danny watching Longlegs when he said he saw Nicolas Cage and just burst out laughing. That's brilliant, that. But you're going for experience, and I think Omniplex have decided let's go for those people who just want to get away from life, who don't want to sort of like have to deal with like deep dramas and whatever else. Let's get frigging Twisters on the big screen and Garfield and whatever the hell else.
Yeah, and like I say, and I think along with that, it does feel like they're trying to aim at what they're doing, not just to people who just want to go watch a film, but to people who want a night out. It feels like you could go there and have a proper enjoyable night out. No, it ain't going to be the cheap. It ain't going to be the cheapest, even with your pass. If you go in there and you want food and drink and things like that, it isn't going to be the cheapest.
All cinemas, though, isn't it?
But that's everywhere. But what they do offer is high end. It's high end food. It's high end drinks. You know what I mean?
It's cooked there, isn't it? The pizzas are done there. The stuff you're buying is cooked there. The cocktails are mixed there. So it's like you say, once you're in behind that little door and you've got your ticket, you can actually just say, "Should we get something to eat at the pictures while we're there?" And it not be like foot stinking hot dogs or bloody nachos that smell like breath. It's actual stuff that you can
quality
eat
food.
And there's plenty. There's actually, weirdly for a cinema as well, in that lobby, there's loads of tables. Loads of chairs and tables and stuff like that. So they're expecting people to turn up and have a bit of scram. And it's kind of nice. They are definitely aiming for something different. It's a totally different experience than going to like Odeon in the Trafford Centre, which is just all about the cinema type of thing, which is not a bad experience either. But it hits a point that our group was kind of founded on. I keep going back to that quote from that little documentary you showed me about the guy with the video shop.
Yeah.
About being able to talk about your stuff afterwards, the film that you've just seen, So you come out of there, and in Odeon, you come out and there's Starbucks over there or whatever it is, but you come out the screen and they basically guide you straight out.
Yeah.
With this, you go through an area that looks inviting. That's got food, that's got drinks, and you hit it, and you sit down at that table and you say, "All right, then, tell me what you think was the best like intellectual metaphor within Twisters," and then you're having a conversation about what you've just seen, and you'd hope that would pay off, like the fact that they've made that little thing to make it feel like a social area.
It does, because basically the middle of it looks and feels like a 50s diner. They've got booths and tables. The lighting's quite sort of it's got like an ambience to it, and it's like a chilled environment. And like you said, you feel like you could just sit down, get a drink, and chat amongst yourselves. Whereas all the other ones are so sterile that you wouldn't want to hang around after you've watched a film somewhere. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I wouldn't feel it was amiss if they were to put like a couple of arcade machines in, maybe a pinball or something like that. It would suit it really well, because it looks like a communal space. You know,
it does.
I mean, to be fair, I'll probably just take a barm cake in myself rather than pay 29 quid for a pizza or whatever it is. But I still use that area. You know, I went watching. What did I watch? Watch Dead Fool while my wife took my son in to watch something for the 19th time, and I can't remember. I think I either came. Oh, that was it. They came out first, so I had to wait for a little bit for my film to start. And I just sat there, and I just thought, it's nice. This nice place to just sit and hang out and watch people pay 12 quid for M&Ms. But it's a nice space. It's not an uninviting space. You know, there's that theory of the color theory of McDonald's. They paint it and they decorate it in a way that makes it inviting to get in there. But as soon as you finish what you
want to get out.
To get out. You want you to get out, and that doesn't come across with this. And so overall, I think it's an interesting cinematic experiment, because it feels
it's a good concept,
and it feels different to like going to an Odeon or going to a View or something like that. It's more welcoming, it feels like. So I suppose even with the few quid increase, we're getting a hell of a lot of mileage out of this pass. It's unreal what we've saved, because if it was 37 quid for 3 tickets and we've all been about 7 or 8 times,
exactly,
it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer, is it? It does also make you crave, like I say, the cinematic experience. Like, why wait for Twisters to turn up on Netflix when you can watch it booming loud in a big cinema? Danny said it was the most American film he's ever seen, because everyone's going yeehaw. I think I think as well, within like about 20 minutes, they'd established about 4 brilliant pricks who were going to get it by the tornado. So I thought, this is cinema. This, look at this guy, he's all arrogant coming over, going, "Oh, you'll never learn anything like that. What about I've got all these computers in my truck. I'll easily beat you to the next one."
You're going first. You're going first.
You know, and I'm thinking, yes, this is the type of film that I like. Oh man!
But it was nice to see the first night that we went in. It was nice to see. Do you know what? I can't think of his name, and I should know his name, but
it's not Michael, is it? No.
Is it Michael? I had spoken to him previous, and we have met him previous. And he used to work for Empire when that was the site of Empire, and it's good to see him back. So obviously, Omniplex knew what he was doing over at Empire, and they've offered him a position back there, which is great.
Yeah.
And like I said, we went in, and he kindly showed us around the place as well as, which was cool. I didn't have to, but he knew who we were, and he knew, you know what I mean. So that was really good. So he showed us around the place. So he was like, you know what I mean, buzzing with anticipation of what it could be. And he's buzzing to show people that sort of know in the know of what's good and what's not. So it's nice to see people like that back there. The rest of the staff seemed quite chilled out. And the one thing I did notice was the staff seemed a little bit older than previous staff at Empire and places like that. And possibly film fans were Empire in the past. Some people that worked in there, they wouldn't have had any idea from one film to another. You know what I mean? They were just, it was just a job. And even starting down to the uniform, like the uniform was quite casual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Prior to that, Empire was like white shirt, black trousers, black pants, black shoes. It was all they mentioned a tie or a dicky ball. You know what I mean? Where these guys now have just got really casual t-shirts. They're all what look to being sort of like combat pants. So it adds that nice feel, relaxed feel about it. Everyone's shadow.
It's always the same with anything. Somebody's got product knowledge. It makes it a better experience. Like I've been, when I worked at BHS, I've been wearing underpants my whole life. So when somebody asks about underpants, I know what I'm talking about. Get dark coloured ones, mate.
But no, and there's just other little things when you start looking around, like the sort of the how they serve just regular soft drinks in there. Basically, it comes in a reusable cup. Yeah, they reuse their cups. So when they give you a cup, the plastic cup that it comes in is reusable. So you have to hand the cup back. The top and the straw that's in it are both recyclable. I think the straws are bamboo, if I'm not mistaken.
Are they? Right.
Yeah, but when you come out of the screen, there's a specific area to put your cups, and to recycle the lid off it, or to put any liquid or stuff like that. So that's quite cool. But it makes people take their own shit out of the screen, because there's nothing worse than going in the screen and see the poor bastard who works in there, the usher, trying to clean the crap out of it in 10 minutes before everybody else tries to come in. This makes you take the shit back out, which I like. I like the idea that there's a whole recycling system and a whole reusing system in place there.
I think, well, the only thing that's missing, the only improvement you could get on that cinema is a sniper for people with phones. We went watching Despicable Me, and this mum comes in and sets her 5 or 6 kids down, and film starts. They all go quiet, and as soon as it came on, she was on her phone. I thought, what are you doing? You know, you're disrupting it for your own kids. Never mind, like me sat next to you. I mean, it's bad enough in a film that I really want to see, but if you're doing it, even like disrupting kids who you want to be entertained by it.
Yeah,
doing there.
I mean, I was talking to Danny on Thursday night, and I can't think what film they'd been to watch. Now, it could have been Deadpool, it could have been All Long Legs. It was one of the two. And while Danny was there, my daughter and her partner turned up as well as, so they're in the same screen. And Danny said right in front of him there was someone using the phone. I said, "What did you do?" He said, "I didn't have to do anything. Lauren got up and said something to him." So,
good.
So Lauren got up and went and must have said something to him, and Danny said they just stopped using it. He said, "Well, it was pissing people off, but Lauren said something." So
I don't see.
I don't see the point. What's the point of
by doing that? Yeah, I'm not being rude by doing that. I'm just being practical. I've paid I probably paid close to like 12 quid to be into that cinema, and they have as well. So by doing that, they're wasting my money as well as theirs. One fella the other day next to me had his alerts on his phone and put them on the little table thing that you get on your chair, on your recliner.
Yeah,
and it just kept going like
buzzing
like that. I said, "Mate, just turn your phone over." And he's like, "Oh yeah, sorry." I thought, how can you not think to do that? Have you got a piece of Lego instead of a brain? Idiots. You're in a dark room where anything that's bright is going to distract other people who have paid to be there.
Well, people just don't think, do they? Because they just don't care about other people's sort of like environment anymore. You know what I mean? As long as they're okay.
That's the problem with the world. There's people in it.
Yeah,
and they're frigging everywhere. That's why I work under me stairs, and I don't have any human contact except you, right? Because people are idiots. They're pigging everywhere. But saying that, like, we'll wrap up the Omniplex thing. But even though I hate people, it's become very clear. I've enjoyed the last month or so of cinema going, because I don't feel pressure to rush out and watch something straight away. But I do feel like I've got the use of it like a cinema room in a way, because it's a relatively cheap price. To be honest, I'll spend that on crisps in half an hour. But so if I put it into the cinema, then it becomes a thing where, like, Danny from the group, I've never been in. I never hung out with the guy in my life before.
Yeah.
But because we've got these passes, he's like, "Do you fancy going and seeing this?" I said, "Yes, I do." There we go. We've suddenly got another social outlet there.
Yeah.
And again, my family's had so much use out of those tickets, it's daft. So what I do thank Omniplex for is that me seeing the cinema a little bit differently. And when I've been in, apart from a couple of phone knobheads, it's been a generally good experience of, like, most people are in there to see the film. And I don't know whether it's because they've got the same passes and because it's the summer holidays and because they're going in the daytime instead of at night or whatever. My worst nightmare was, what was it? It was used to be, was it Tuesdays or Wednesdays was cheap in Empire in Wigan?
Tuesdays.
Yeah, and you might as well have just got a big blooming like spade and scooped up a load of crap from a sewer and flung it around the cinema. For the quality of the people in there was unreal. I saw somebody take out a plate and a knife and fork and eat a goddamn meal in something. I can't remember what it was. Then I went watching that RoboCop remake, and someone just went through bags and bags of the noisiest sweets you could possibly imagine. And I thought, you can't hear the film yourself, never mind other people. What are you doing here? So the quality of Scrubber in those cheap nights was unreal. But because these tickets work differently, you don't all get them on the same day.
Yeah.
You haven't got a concentration of the people who are watching the pennies, right, going in on the same day.
I think they do honour the Meerkat voucher. So if you get your insurance through one of the compare sites, the voucher that you will get off them, I'm sure that Omniplex offer that voucher system. Again, I don't know what night of week it is. I think it is Wednesday now, isn't it? I think it used to be a Tuesday, but I think it's now a Wednesday.
No, I think it was always Wednesday. Oh no, it was Orange Wednesdays, wasn't it? Yeah,
Orange Wednesdays, wasn't it? Yeah. So I think the one at Omniplex is a Wednesday. Again, if we're wrong and anybody from Omniplex sees this, which they probably won't, but if you do, then put a comment down below and tell us where we're going wrong. But I suppose it's nice that there is still that element there that people can use a discount like that. Now, we did ask them. I know for season ticket holders, for pass holders in other cinema chains, you will get a discount when you're buying popcorn, drinks, things like that. I know Real Cinema, they used to do not Real Cinema, that's the one at bloody Charlie. What's the one we've just been talking about? Cineworld. I know Cineworld with a £15 a month pass. Once you'd had it over 3 months, I think it got you 10% off. And then once you had it over 6 months, I think it could get you up to 25% off, which is good. But the popcorn and drinks were stupidly expensive anyway, so it just brought it back down to a normal level. When we asked Omniplex, were they doing anything like that, they out and out said no, they weren't, because in their eyes, the ticket was cheap enough to start off with. Now, it would be nice to see with the $14.99 if they throw a little bit of a discount in there, even if it was 10%. You know what I mean? Which would be another reason to take the $14.99 a month pass, if it give you a 10% discount on soft drinks, popcorn, nachos, whatever it was like that. I'm not bothered about the premium drinks. I'm not bothered about the premium food. No. That could be whatever price it wants to be, because it's probably worth it. But for general cinema sort of sweets and stuff like that, if they could give a little bit of a discount on your Omnipass, that would be quite cool. But they said they weren't looking at that at any time soon. That may change. I don't know, because what we spoke about as well is how long can a company like this sustain the business model for, when all the other businesses around them are just falling by the wayside,
falling apart. And again, I think it might come back to that thing of what do they look like they're focusing on, like, because in my mind, if something like, let's say something like the next Avatar comes out and it's in double 3D zip zap zoom IMAX, I'm going to Odeon in Trafford Centre, because that's where I'm going to see that insane like screen and that incredible sound, and know that those glasses work or whatever else. If something like Cannonball Run 5 comes out, I'm probably going to whiz down to Omniplex, because it feels like a DVD shelf. It feels like just some stuff like your entertainment. Really, it doesn't necessarily feel like you're getting a big deep experience, but we've seen them screens, and all the screens are good. They're a step up from what they were when it was Empire, and because every seat's a recliner, and because you can have a sofa if you want, and all that kind of stuff. It's just a little bit of a nice experience watching something that you may have seen a million times before. Like if they put Back to the Future on, I'm going, because it's like being in someone's house and going through the DVDs and going, oh, you've got that, I've not seen that, I'll go and have a look at that. It feels like they're aiming for a different audience member then
I think it is. I think it is. Yeah, definitely. It's not just your average cinema goer. I think you will get that. You know what I mean? Obviously, with Deadpool being on there, you're going to get your average cinema goer. But like, just the people that we've seen the few times that we've been, there's always been like sort of older couples around our age, husband and wives, partners, whatever, going, and they've made a bit of a night of it. So they've had a few drinks, they've watched the film, they've had a bit of something to eat. It seems to be that whole thing's going on, as well as I mean, they do the weekend club as well, don't they? The kids club at the weekend.
The kids one, they do, yeah.
And it's I think is it $3.50 if you just want to watch a film?
It is. It's somewhat cheap like that. It's under $5, I know that much. But what the kids club always do as well is the tickets the same whether you're adult or kid when you're going into them. So it's a cheap day if you're just going on that one day to watch that one film. But like I say, with the Omnipass, if you come out and the kid says, "Oh, they've got Garfield on as well," you can go back in and just watch that as well. Now, one thing had to be mentioned about booking for kids, their website at the moment doesn't have the ability to log someone on who wasn't born before 2008, I think it is. Or something like that. They won't let you book. They won't let you buy an Omnipass for anyone who's under 18. You technically can't do it. So somebody at the cinema told us, like, register him, you have to put a photo on of yourself to be able to get your pass, so that when you arrive and you scan it in, they check it's you against the photo. What they don't really look at is the date of birth. So my 7-year-old lad is 51 on his Omnipass, but they told me to do that, so I'm all right with that, until they figure it out that he's a pretty cool 51-year-old. So I'll have to do it.
No, whether Omnipass is a new thing for them, whether they didn't run Omnipass in Ireland, because you'd have thought they'd have ironed all this out years ago, because they've been in Ireland for years. So whether Omnipass is a new thing altogether for them, and it's something they've rolled out across the thing.
I don't think it is. There's a lad I know on Twitter who was talking about the $14.99 thing the other day, a lad in Belfast, and he was saying he's had the card for years. He's had the Omnipass for years. And he used it a lot. So they've had it as a discount thing for a long time. I think they're just like anyone, costs are going up, which is why you worry that you get a nice cinema chain and are they going to survive? But so far, so good. I'll keep chucking money at them because
most definitely, most definitely. Like I said, I think the only one negative thing that I've come across is the website isn't particularly that good. It's really clunky, like really clunky. Now, I don't know if that's something that in the future they'll get round to solving, or to be fair, they'd be better off just with an app. You know what I mean? Most of the cinema chains just have an app now, and they're really easy. Now, whether that's something they'll put in place in the future, I don't know. It's probably something they need. But if you're looking to book tickets online, that's the one thing I would say to you is the website is pretty poor.
I'd just go, to be honest.
It's a lot easier.
Things there. They've got the touch screens there in the foyer, like not only when you arrive there, but once you're inside the complex bit, they've got them there, because the people with Omnipasses are just zapping that and walking in, and then you can book your film. You can book whichever you want once you're in. So I haven't been in anything yet that's been totally packed out. I think me and Danny, when we watched Twisters, that was kind of busy. But even that, like, there was plenty of seats for us to nab together. So I wouldn't worry about it being sold out. I'd just go and have a look, just go and have a sniff, see what's on. Because the people on the desk can help you get your bookings done or get your pass done or whatever it is that you want to do.
Again, it's very well set up for it. It's very well set up for it. When you go in, it doesn't feel like you just go into a kiosk and asking for a ticket like you will do at other places. I mean, a lot of places now, you can get your ticket and your popcorn and your drink all at the same time. When you actually go into this Omniplex, and I imagine the setups are the same across the board on other sides, is it feels like there's a proper information desk when you go in, and there's computer screens and cameras and stuff all over it, and it looks really state of the art.
It's like Hugh Jackman in that Fish film where he's hacking like that, and he's dancing. We had about 20 screens.
Swordfish, Swordfish.
That was it. Swordfish.
But no, like I said, the outcome of Omniplex has been it's been most welcomed in the Wigan Borough. It seems like a solidly good chain. They seem like a company who knows what they're doing and what people want. I just hope they can sustain the business model and sort of survive where other bigger chains are really, really struggling.
Fingers crossed. I mean, I'm sure they're not going to get rich off my $11.99 a month or whatever it's going to be, $14.99 a month. But something about what they're offering, like, feels different to the other cinemas, simply because you feel like you're going in watching comfort films in a way. Again, there's no sort of like obscure art house stuff being put on, which is upsetting for some people who like that thing. But I think they've spotted like what were the big sellers in Wigan. They must have done the research on what films have been selling well, and then just gone, right, well, let's give them a load of them. Let's put Twisters on and let's put Dead Fool on and whatever else. So so there's our review of Omniplex cinemas. Do with that what you will. Like I said, up to now, mate, I've not heard anybody else talking about it or chatting about it. So maybe this may get out to them, and they may be, because we have asked the question as well. Can we go down there and film some stuff? And the answer was, I don't know. So we're still no one knew if we could film inside or not. So I know they did a press night, didn't they, where everyone went down to look around the cinema and they put some bits on. They did, like that. But I wouldn't want to take the make and film stuff they didn't want filming. But Omniplex. This is the big gripe. We are the only film club in Wigan. We're 423 members strong, and we never got a bloody invite to come down to the VIP night and have a look around. Instead, you were giving it to Crazy Dave, who owns a fucking vape shop in town. You know what I mean? It's like I didn't get me everything that one. Not that I wanted any freebies or anything, but it would have been nice to sort of allow us to come down, film some stuff, podcast it, vlog it, do what we want. But no, you want a giant throne right in the middle of the Mac screen with Tony written on it in gold. But no, Brian from Penn Butchers, he went along. You know what I mean? he's bunged him a couple of sausages like that, a couple of Cumberlands.
But that was my only gripe on the Omniplex. So if you're watching this, make amends. Let us come down and film some shit there, will you, please?
Yeah, put Cannonball Run on for a week as a penance.
But again, guys, if anybody out there has got an Omniplex cinema near them, and you've got the same outlook as what me and Dave have on it, leave some comments down below. We always like chatting about this kind of stuff. We like this social interaction popping up. If you are a fellow Wiganer and you've either been with us or you've been on your own or you've took the kids or whatever, again, leave some comments down below. But like I said, we always like discussing this kind of stuff. So until the next one, everybody, please keep it
cult.
See you later, everybody.
See ya.